Summer's right around the corner, so it's the season where we leave the house with a full beat and we come back home and we look like we don't have any makeup on at all. So I'm going to show you a little routine to avoid that problem. The first step you want to do is make sure you have your sunscreen. Super important. Gotta make sure we protect ourselves when we're out there in the sun. I'm using a separate moisturizer and serum. I'm just going to go in with my primer. This is the NYX Freeze serum. Or this is the NYX Freeze primer. It's a cooling primer and a moisturizer, so you have 2 in 1 without adding an additional product, which is nice. Next is brow gel. I've tried so many brow gels, but I always go back to this brow laminating gel by e.l.f. It's the only one that really holds my brows, because let's be real, they are pretty thick, but it's the only one that really holds them, and then it also doesn't leave like a super flaky cast. I've tried a few and they either don't hold and they don't leave a cast, or they hold and then it's just super flaky. But this is the perfect one. I have bought this, like, this is my 3rd one, I think. Go up and I brush them up, and then I'll take the end of it and kind of swoop through after. I don't add any additional product to my brows since they are so thick. Summer, less is better in that sense, where you really don't need like a full brow gel. Next is the foundation. I am going to use the Face Bond foundation. This is seriously sweat proof. I've tested this a few times. I've even worn it to the gym and it stays on no matter what. I have it in the shade medium neutral. This is like my summer shade. I should probably get a shade lighter until I am actually tan, because I haven't really been outside, but we're just gonna trust the process here, okay? Concealer, I like using this Essence Keep Me Covered concealer. It's very inexpensive and it's also a very good concealer. Medium coverage, but honestly it hides my dark circles, so I'm gonna consider that high coverage, because these things are a lot. I use this e.l.f. 2-in-1 brush. It's the Complexion Duo brush, and I love this because you can use this part for your face and this part for your eyes. You don't need 2 separate brushes. Also, I travel, I would say fairly often, and for traveling purposes, this is amazing because the less I have to pack, the better. So I normally pack these 3 brushes and then like 1 additional blush brush and I'm set. See how bright my under eyes look? I just blended it out with my beauty blender, but this stuff, it's the truth. To do a little bronzer, this is the Milani Cheek Kiss Cream Bronzer. Go in right under where I would put my blush. So I'm gonna put my blush here. So then I'll go under here and do my bronzer. And I'm just going to do a tiny bit to add some warmth to my face. This cream bronzer is super buildable. I used to use the Ulta one a lot, but I want to try something different, and I am a fan of this. You can never really overdo bronzer though, like you can always just blend it in or take your beauty blender and kind of tone it down if you think it looks like it's too much, but I feel like there's never a point where I've been like, oh, that's too much bronzer, and maybe I just have bronzer blindness. We are good to go. And then I'm going to add blush. This is actually a new blush. I just tried it a couple days ago and I am obsessed with it. This is the ColourPop Weightless Liquid Blush, and this is in the shade I Know That's Right. I like how it's just a light touch of pink. It's not too much. And the pigment on this is wild. I'm just going to add a little drop here and a little drop here. Use my e.l.f. Liquid Blush brush to blend that out. That's literally a tongue twister. I also feel like blush placement makes a really big difference. Sometimes I'll put it more in the center, right here. But for today, I'm going to put it over here just to kind of make my face look more snatched, rather than like the sun-kissed look. If I want the sun-kissed look, then that's when I put it in the middle. I'll do a little bit on my nose too, which maybe, no, we're not going to do any on our nose today. And again, same trick here that I do with my bronzer. If I feel like I have too much blush, I just take my beauty blender and I kind of just like pat it down so it absorbs some of that product, but I think this looks good. Once we have all of our creams done, let's go ahead and set. So I'm going to use the One Size setting powder in the shade Ultra Pink. I got the mini of this and it has lasted me so long. I like to make sure everything is just really set in there. I didn't really add any products for additional glow today because I feel like, honestly, the natural humidity and sweat that I'm going to produce is going to be my glow anyway. Okay, we only have a couple more steps. So next I am going to do my eyes. Feeling Bubbly palette is my go-to. It has a bunch of really pretty shimmers in here and just natural colors. And I like to go in with this peachier shade and do that all over my lid. This is the shade Blaine Slate. And then I'll go in with the Clink Clink. Lately I have been a sucker for a neutral eyeshadow look. I used to love doing bold, bright colors, and maybe it's just with the clean girl aesthetic being in, but I have been gravitating a lot more towards these neutral palettes. I have this one and I have the Patrick Ta one, and it's like those two on repeat all day, every day. And then actually, we're gonna spice this up a little bit. This shade, which is Get a Grape, and I'm just going to add that over here into the corner to kind of smoke it out a little bit, and then blend it with the other end. And this is a prime example of why I love these brushes. They're just so easy to use. Add a little shimmer into my eye looks. And I feel like that's my Zillennial showing, so we are going to resist that urge for today and leave it at this. Another trick I like to do to clean up my eyeshadow looks is I'll go in with concealer. So I'm using my Rare Beauty one. This one actually matches my skin tone while the other one's a little bit lighter. And I'll take that into the inner corner or the outer corners of my eyes to kind of add a more defined look. And then second to last, we're going to do our mascara. I've been using this Bad Girl Bang mascara, and I am going to show you the difference it makes on the lashes because it's actually wild. I'm not going to use eyelash primer just for the fact that I want you guys to see how good this is. Do you see the difference this makes my lashes? This is actually wild. I got it on sale at Ulta during Black Friday, but now I feel like I'm hooked, and once I run out, I'm gonna have to get it again. To make this a little more summer, what we're going to do is add this Fenty Beauty. I love a good sparkly glossy lip, and this is the Gloss Bomb Stick in the shade See You in Miami. And it's so shimmery and so pretty. Like, do a little swatch for you guys. You see that shine? Okay. And then we're gonna put that on. Like, I should be on a beach somewhere, tropical, on a vacation. This is so cute. The last step is setting spray. You cannot forget your setting spray, okay? I have two. I have this all-nighter Urban Decay. Well, they're both all-nighter Urban Decay. This one is the Hyaluronic Acid Watermelon and Fruit. I'm not going to use this one because it gives me more of a dewy look. And like I said before, we don't want to add any extra like shimmer or dew because we already are going to be adding some throughout the day when we perspirate. This is the finished sweat-proof look.